Then this is a walk around video, and this is for an absolutely beautiful looking Honda Civic. This is a top of the range EX GT 1.8 manual petrol. Car's covered 70,800 miles now. Finished in white. Looks absolutely stunning on these cars. Helped by the fact that you got the obviously the black grille, black glass, panoramic roof which is black, privacy glass, and these lovely, and I believe they're the cobalt optional alloys. There were three. There was radium and something else, but I think it's the cobalt ones. I'm terrible with names, things like that. But, the car is in absolutely beautiful condition. The lights and lenses on the front here, clear, intact, no cracks or condensation in them at all. Xenon lights on the top of the range car here, as is front and rear parking cameras. Front and rear parking sensors, I should say. Bonnet very clean, just the odd very light stone chip which you naturally don't expect on a 7-year-old car, but they are few and far between. Near side of the vehicle, mirror smooth in the panels. It just does not look like it's done the mileage it's done. Near side front alloy, the one takes all the bashing, and it's only the lightest curbing right on the outside edge to report on that wheel. Remaining panels just wonderfully clean. Near side rear alloy completely unmarked. And then around the back of the car, really handsome looking beasts. They've aged so well. And rear bumper pretty much unmarked. I'm sure there must be the odd tiny little mark somewhere on it, but nothing that immediately jumps out. And then offside the vehicle, driver's side, as with the near side, blemish free, absolutely beautiful. Offside rear alloy, again really nice condition. And the remaining panels are absolutely lovely. Final alloy on the front there, again really nice, with just the tiniest bit of curving right on the outside edge, but again nothing that detracts from the car in any way, shape or form. Let's come into the back of the car now. Absolutely cavernous boots on the cars, and you've got your 60/40 fold on the rear seats, and you've got the boot that drops down as well, and it's been kept in just wonderful condition back here. It's coming to the back of the car, full black leather interior on these vehicles, and this is basically the Achilles heel of any family car, and unlike so many cars, it's been kept beautifully in the back. It's kids look as though they've been kept away from it, which is a rarity on a family hatch, if you like. But the leatherwork is beautiful. If you can see up there, huge panoramic roof with the electric blind, all working absolutely perfectly. It's coming to the front now. Passenger door card, as with all of them, looks pretty much as new. Front passenger seat there, again, hardly looks like it's been given any use at all. So coming into the driver's door, again door card, all been kept really nicely. Footwell areas really clean. And driver's seat, the one that takes all the wear, only shows minor wear. I mean, it really is far better than you'd expect on this age. So sat inside the car now, engine's running through this section, so the dashboard can be seen illuminated, as is always the case. Dashboard looks absolutely pristine. It's in beautiful condition. Sorry, it's a bit dark and murky today, so I hope it's not too bad for the video. Sat nav working exactly as it should. Pop the car into reverse there. Get that lovely gridded rear parking camera, all working exactly as it should as well. Dual zone climate control system, but it's just, as the video, as is often the case, doesn't really do justice to it. And then come back here, you've got this wonderful view. I mean, that's kind of the view you get as a driver, and how you should set your driving position, by the way. So the steering wheel is below the speedo and just above the rev counter there, but I just don't think there's a better view for a driver anywhere in the marketplace, even in this day and age. It's fantastic, and it's just in lovely condition. I'm going to try and get through here without snagging wires, and hopefully you can see 70,851 miles is now currently recorded on the car. Just to quickly show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key are both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic, and it's a 1.8 EX GT. This is the top of the range car. This particular car is registered, if I can read it, AK13OMH And mileage, and I do apologise, it's now 70,845 miles, because I think I mentioned in the advert I'm actually using this car whilst waiting for my new car to arrive, so and rather enjoying this as well. So it is going up, not that quickly. I've done one sort of longish trip in it, but now just short local trips. The reason we do the videos is very simple indeed. It's basically we want all our customers or potential customers to see the cars that we're advertising on Auto Trader, to actually see those cars in operation. The reason for that is, unfortunately, we know to our cost just how frustrating it can be to go and see a car which can look perfectly good in the photographs and the description provided, only to get there and find out that it's got a fundamental issue which shows up whilst driving the car. So that's why we do it, and so we feed it back to you. And we choose to do it on part of the test drive route anyone would go on, so hopefully it'd be then representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. Coming to the car in question, been very, very well looked after, fully serviced throughout its life, and I have to say it feels like it. It feels absolutely as tight as a drum. Engine is push button start on the top of the range models, starts absolutely instantly and settles to a completely smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. I'll do the temperature gauge a little bit later in the video, because I like to do these videos from when the car's cold, because if there's any issues it tends to show up then, but obviously I'll wait till it gets up to full operating temperature before I feed that back to you if I remember to do so. The engines are simply brilliant. It's everything Honda do well. It's wonderfully smooth and refined. There's hardly any vibration comes back through into the car from the engine. They're just beautifully balanced engines. But it's tractable, it's powerful, it's just a very, very pleasant engine to use. Being a Honda, they are incredibly tough and long lasting with just normal, regular maintenance. They're cam chain driven, which obviously helps, because I don't like the thought of engines being joined top to bottom by a bit of rubber that needs changing. These don't, of course. But you know, we've had them back with well over 200,000 miles, still driving and sounding just like this. So it's a very, very, very tough unit indeed. Engine then feeds through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch on the car, absolutely perfect. Bike point's exactly where it's meant to be, and it's lovely and smooth in operation. Gearbox, hard to believe, but it feels like the gear lever is going straight into a gearbox underneath, which of course it isn't, because it's actually, like most modern front wheel drive cars, joined by a cable through to the gearbox underneath the engine bay. In some cars that can make for a very kind of detached gear shifts, very sort of sloppy in their linkage. This is just so tight, it feels mechanical, it just feels absolutely superb. How a gearbox should be done, and Honda are brilliant at doing them, absolutely brilliant, and that feels absolutely as new. Just ridiculous, really. Steering on the car tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at all at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit, but it's just a lovely power steering system. It's quick, it's precise. Corners like this one, hardly any movement get you in through the corner, but it's wonderfully faithful in the steering inputs. You just have to put it in, it follows absolutely pinpoint accurate. It's just wonderfully, wonderfully done. The chassis complements it, because what it gives you over and above probably the 8th generation car is a real suppleness to the ride. It's very, very comfortable indeed, but without feeling wallowy in any way. It's got brilliant, brilliant body control to the car. So for those who are enthusiastic about the way they like to drive, it's just fantastic. It really flows through corners. You know, it's a car that's actually fun to drive, rather than kind of one car that just gets you from A to B. But what it does give you also at the same time is a fairly pampered life, because the ride, as I said, is just so beautifully, beautifully damped. What I'm looking for, by the way, on road test videos is any signs of when you hit a bump, you'll hear it. the bump, albeit subdued. But what you don't want to be hearing is any kind of nasty sort of chatterings or knocking noises coming from underneath, and there's nothing at all. It's absolutely solid, absolutely perfect. Coming to the brakes, make sure no one's directly behind me. Hold on to everything, but give them a good shove. Fantastic brake pedal on the car. Bites really well, it's solid, it pulls you up straight, there's no pulsing, there's no vibrations, all absolutely spot on. Coming to probably my favourite part last, which is the interior of these cars. They are just superb, they really are. It's just such a lovely place to sit. But this one is helped, of course, by this huge glass panoramic roof with the electric blind that opens and shuts on duller days like today, and it is particularly dull today. It adds a lot of extra light into the car, which is lovely, especially for the backseat passengers. But the dash design is just superb. Worth pointing out, as I always do on these videos, build quality is sensational in the car. Absolutely sensational. No squeaks, no rattles, nothing like that. And don't confuse squidgy plastics and heavy sounding doors for build quality, because it isn't. It's how they put the things together and how they last over how they stand the test of time. And that's where these are just superbly made machines. But it also gives you, in my opinion at least, and it's only an opinion, the best dash design anywhere in its class. It is wonderful to behold, but also brilliant to use, because it's not there just for show, it's there to serve a purpose. The centre part is actually the most conventional of all, so you've just got this lovely big sat-nav system working absolutely perfectly. Down below that, dual zone climate control, so different temperatures side to side on the car. It blows out lovely cold air. Although it's freezing cold today, it went into a warm workshop and it blows out lovely and cold. Heated seats, which I've had on, work perfectly as well. Switch gear quality is sensational. Daft as it sounds really trivial, but it's actually really important over the long term. But you just press a button, it's got a lovely damped click action to it, very well manufactured and designed to last an awfully long time, feeling exactly the same way. But then my favourite part, this two-tier dash design, which is just genius. High up are the things you're going to look at on a more regular basis. So you've obviously got your speedo, which I'll come back to in a second. But then you've got the information panel up there. And what's nice about that, it's giving you kind of trip information, other information you might want. But if you press the climate control, it reads out up there. Same for the radio. So you're not having to look down to the bowels of the car to take in information you want to just glance and look at. But the speedo is just brilliant. It means you can look straight ahead down the road, but at the corner of your eye, clearly see the speed you're driving at. So you keep your license intact, but also safety-wise, it just works sensationally well. Down below that, you've got a more conventional array of dials, big dominating rev counter in the middle, flanked either side by fuel gauge on the right and temperature gauge on the left, which is now running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda car, by the way. Steering wheel, lovely thick rimmed thing, feels great in hand. All the functions working exactly as it should. It really is a wonderful, wonderful car. And at night, when it's all illuminated, it does, I know it sounds nerdy, but it looks absolutely fantastic, by the way. As I said at the start of the video, the point, brief as it might be, is literally just to show you the car in operation and feedback on any issues there may or may not be, of which there's nothing at all. It drives absolutely beautifully. I mean, you can see why they're so sought after second hand, because very few cars drive like this after 7 years or that kind of mileage, because it feels exactly as new to drive. It feels so tight in every way. As always though, if you've got any questions about the car, don't hesitate, do give us a call.